All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of No Traction Faction. I've got one of our guys here today, and we're going to be showing off this beautiful M5 in black, kind of a almost metallic black. But this is going to be a new car for the channel, one of many German cars that I think we're going to be introducing to the channel going forward. This is a 2019 M5, used. Obviously, this is about a 50,000 mile car. What we're going to be doing here on the next couple of episodes is getting this whole car kind of cleaned up. Obviously, it's got some miles on it. We're going to go ahead and polish the whole car, get the paint really popping. Once we get the paint corrected fully, we're going to go ahead and add PPF to this entire car, at least the majority of the front, roof, a lot of the other parts. From there, once the car is protected, we're also going to be adding on a bunch of carbon fiber parts. Those also have PPF, but we've got a lot of real carbon that we're going to throw all around the car, splitters, spoilers, things like that, little pieces here or there. Here in a little bit, we'll kind of go over the interior of the car. We'll talk about the engine here in a second. Now, this is a stock M5, is that correct, Logan?
Yes, totally stock.
Yeah, so this is stock M5. These make about 600 from the factory. It sounds like, though, like many German cars here in the newer generations, they make a lot more on the dyno than actually advertised, so it's about 600 to the wheels. This is obviously an all-wheel drive since it's an M-Series car, and this thing really knows how to get it. So we're going to be doing a couple of different footages with this going forward, and yeah, really trying to spruce it up, adding, like I said, a bunch of carbon fiber parts, but ultimately the performance side is what we're going to be focusing on as well. So trying to get that horsepower for this 4.4 liter V8 bi-turbo increased, maybe 700, 750 horsepower, is that what you're thinking?
700 of the wheels. 700
of the wheels. So that should be a really killer setup, all-wheel drive. Obviously, we've got a couple of all-wheel drive setups on the channel as well. So this is going to be no different. Definitely a German muscle beast that we're going to be modding out as much as we can here and getting some good footage for you guys in a couple of different episodes here. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with getting this car cleaned up. And once we get it all cleaned up, we're going to start the polishing. We'll get some good pictures for you guys. This will be the kind of base configuration. Once we get it all cleaned up, we're going to bring it back here, doing the PPF, get it clay barred and everything before that, and get all that PPF down and applying that the carbon fiber parts like I mentioned earlier. So that's going to be the kind of gist for the next couple of episodes, is getting this whole thing cleaned up and looking really, really good. Hopefully we'll get some footage in after that, and then sky's the limit for the performance stuff. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. Okay, guys, right before we watch this, what we're going to go ahead and do is sand a little bit of some of the rock chips. Like I said, this is obviously a used car, and I went ahead and had Logan already add some of the same color paint onto the rock chips. Obviously, for any car, driving on the freeway, anything like that, you're going to pick up rock chips, and that's really one of the reasons why we're going to go ahead and PPF the car now, to make sure the paint stays in as good as condition as can. But in order to do that, we want to make sure that the paint below it is good quality. So some of these spots that you see here on the reflection, I'm going to go ahead and sand down with some 2000, maybe some 2500 sandpaper already wetted, and another guy right here. So we're going to go ahead and get those guys cleaned up on the front. I think there was one over here on the carbon as well that we're going to go ahead and clean up. And once everything is kind of sanded, we're going to go ahead and clean the whole car and polish up the majority of the entire car, pretty much. That way we can really not trying to knock down all the orange peel on this. We're trying to make sure that any of the blemishes and so forth are kind of smoothed over and glossed over. Since this is kind of a somewhat daily driver car, we want to preserve as much of the clear coat as possible on this, but definitely want to try and clean it up and shine it as much as possible. So we'll kind of hit it with a mixture of heavy cut and then medium cut, and then finishing off with swirl and so forth. And then like I said, we're going to be removing all of the residue with some solvent before we actually do the PPF process for that as well. So all right guys, that is going to be the start of this project. Let's go ahead and start sanding. All right, guys, we got the car pretty much washed off here. You can see some of the sanding marks. We went ahead and got it so that the paint pen marks are perfectly flat on all of these. And now it's, once we dry it off here, perfectly prepped to start buffing the entire surface. Again, I think on the front, we're gonna go a little bit heavier, probably with some McGuire's, probably what we'll be using today, some heavier cut stuff. On the rest of the side of the car where there's really no damage, we'll go lighter, probably a medium cut with a medium pad. The roof is a carbon fiber piece with a different type of clear coat on it that's pretty rough. So we're probably gonna do a heavy cut on the roof as well. And then this is gonna get a full treatment of PPF as well. So I think it's gonna be a mixture really of heavy cut and medium cut. And then we'll finish off with a swirl remover from that point. And then obviously the car will be set up to PPF once we get all of that residue off with a solvent and some more water. So anyway, we've got it all cleaned up here. We're gonna go ahead and dry it and then move on to some of the polishing. One thing I forgot to mention, we're going to go ahead and actually remove some of the badging on this because we're going to replace it with some blackout emblems here instead. So this M5 badge, and then also this small spoiler piece, we're going to go ahead and remove that because we're going to put in a carbon fiber piece on here as well. So it'll just be a lot easier to polish the car with that missing. So we're going to go ahead and take off a few of these parts and go ahead and start polishing.
Feeling like I'm second best, someone that you could forget. Got me drinking that healing, sinking in this feeling. Will you be the time, giving me the signs of life? Making you are clear, but you're gonna leave me in the deep.
right, guys, it's the next day. We're back on the M5. Last night we were working real late, getting everything polished up in kind of a two-stage configuration with a cut and then a final polish. This morning off camera, I cleaned it up a little bit more on a few spots, added a little bit more paint pen and some of the rock chips. Again, this is a 50,000 mile car, so there's a couple of dings and so forth on the front bumper and hood and so forth. And again, that's really the reason why we're putting the PPF on. So to be able to do the PPF, which is really our next step, we want to make sure all the contaminants that might have still adhered to the surface of the painted body surfaces is removed. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with a clay bar on the front areas that we're going to start with here, at least today, and get all of the kind of residue, sap, water spots, things like that off of the surface of the vehicle, of the surfaces that we're going to hit today with quick wires for you. Once we're done with that, we're going to go in and clean it one more time. Obviously, now it's broken, I'll move it into the shop, and then we're going to be applying the pre-cut PPF. We'll show you guys the kit here in a little bit, and applying that to the entire front of the bumper here in a clear bra fashion. We'll see if we get to the hood today. Some of the other parts will probably be in the next episode, but at least we're going to try and get the majority of the front, the most important part of the car, and the headlights and fenders fully brought.